Fraley. And Rachel, tell me a little bit about what your job is here at the fair.
I am the 4-H educator for Ohio State University, and my job here is to make sure that the 4-H and FFA kids, have their project run smooth and kind of make sure that all the different shows go good. We also do Cloverbud games and teen games, and basically I am that leader for all of our 4-H club groups.
Rachel, tell us a little bit about these animal projects. When do they get the projects?
They vary anywhere between a year, and rabbits and chickens they usually get just even about 4 weeks before the project, maybe 6. Chickens, like they actually pick them up in our office the week of Memorial Day. Yeah.
So this isn't like they just get these animals and show up with them the next day. It requires a lot of time and effort.
It requires a lot of time and effort. It's one of the best things for me. A lot of times they say they get to the show and the other night the hog judge said, it's not about just coming out here and showing it. It's what goes into the project year long, and it's the hard work and the dedication that animals they have to put through. It teaches work ethic and responsibility. Like these guys are out in the barn working with their animals from dusk till dawn sometimes, and it's just it's a very long project that it requires a lot of hard work.
And probably especially for our youth today, we're so in such an instant gratification culture that everything's very quick, everything happens immediately. So this kind of having this commitment is a really big change of pace.
Right. They start out and then they even get here to the show and the sale, and then they have to wait again to get their checks. A lot of times they're like, when do I get that money? When do I get that money? And it takes a while, because they have to go through the project. And so it has to be even more than that, for them to be committed to their project. Because a lot of times those projects don't make it to the fair. They have to be dedicated to it.
So tell us a little bit about the auction, which is what we have going on today. Mm-hmm. What goes on here?
The 4-H and FFA kids all raise their projects, and then they run them through the auction, and they are sold to buyers throughout the community and tri-state area.
So with this sale, it's kind of the reward for all the hard work.
Right. They'll all bring their animal in. They go from grand until 10th, or the 10th is actually placed from the show. The 11th through however many we had in that project is kind of based on a numerical system that we do to place those animals. Then they all come through the ring and they're bid on by all the people in the community and all that, and that is where they get their price, for how much they go. And what is awesome is that with this sale, it's more than just taking it to market, because a lot of times these animals are raised to go to market, but being able to bring them into the auction allows them to get a little more for their project than just taking it to the market.
The community members, what's the advantage for them to come here?
It gets their name out there. It allows people to know that they support the fair and to support these 4-H kids, and hopefully brings them business, along with just the fact that they can. A lot of times, it's that internal gratification, that they helped a kid, get their project through the sale.
So this isn't your first time at the fair. I've heard that you've been at this a long time.
I have. This is my first year as the 4-H educator in the county, but I have been at this since I was 5 years old. I was a Cloverbud from 5 to 9, and those kids, you don't get to show and sell 5 to 8. My first year was as a 9-year-old, and I showed lambs for the first few years, and then I switched to steers my last 2. So
you've kind of been through this whole thing. You know what they're going through.
Oh, yeah.
You can kind of give them that tough love when it comes to make sure they're taking care of their projects.
Right, yeah, I have to keep on them and make sure that they're doing the things that they need to be doing, but also, and it's a good way. I like that I have the experience because I am able to relate to them in many ways, and that, they get tired and they get, ready to get rid of it, but they have to keep going, it pushes you a little harder.
I'm here with Randy Lambert, who is the president of the Lawrence County Fair Board this year. So tell us a little bit about what your job is here as the president of the Fair Board.
Mainly it's just organizing, and I call it troubleshooting. There's always little things need to be done or go on. So I just kind of oversee. We have committees that handle areas. We have a track committee, a barn committee, and those people all take care of their areas. I just kind of handle problems and help coordinate is probably the best way to say it.
Yeah. And today we're here at the Livestock Auction, which is kind of the culmination of the fair.
Yes.
It's a really exciting time. So tell us a little bit about the Livestock Auction.
This kind of finalizes the fair for the 4-H and the FFA. We have a total of about 300 to 400 4-H members and FFA members that bring market projects to the fair, and then they show them, they compete, and then at the end they sell them, and that money goes back to them. Most of them, a lot of them here use that for college education. I know several that have gone through the 4-H, and now they've gone to college. They come back and actually have kids here in the 4-H now, and a lot of them use it for that. Some will use it to help their family with school clothes or buying a car so they can get a car if their family can't afford it. So it really goes to a good cause. It really helps the kids and teaches, I think it helps teach them responsibility.
So who can come to the auction as a buyer?
Anyone. We have individuals, businesses so anyone can come, aunts and uncles, grandparents sometimes, to buy the family animals, especially the rabbits and chickens, you'll see that. So anyone is welcome to come and buy. We often have groups of buyers come, 2 or 3 people go together and buy an animal, so everyone's welcome and encouraged.
So why is it important that the community members and businesses come out and support the fair and also the livestock auction?
Well, I think this is one of probably the best things we have in the county for our youth. As I said, we have about 400 youth here every year, and of course that changes. Next year, a fourth of them will go on and graduate, move on, and not be in 4-H. We have the new ones coming up. And it teaches them responsibility. They take care of their animals. People with a steer will get their animals sometimes in October, November, carefree all year long, the other animals in the spring. But these are kids that are going out of the evenings, feeding, leading, training their animals. They come up here during the fair. As I said, we'll have 400 kids here competing, but yet never have a problem out of them because they learn the responsibility, and it teaches them things in life, I think.
Yeah. So, you can probably shows if someone puts a lot of work or just a little bit of work into their animal when they come out into the ring.
Yes, it does. And you'll often see the younger kids see the older kids, the achievements they made, the efforts they made, and that helps encourage them. But you can usually see the animals, look at them, the way they're handled, how trained they are. You know which ones really put the effort into it, and hopefully that inspires others to do the same thing.
I'm here with Freddy Hayes, who is the Lawrence County Commissioner and also a member of the Fair Board. So tell us a little bit about why you come up here every year. You just wait for this livestock auction.
Yeah, this is the most favorite part of the fair. I've been coming up here for 15 years buying animals. That's what the fair is all about, these kids. I love to see them smile when they get paid for their project.
So they put a lot of work in this project. Kind of how did you get into buying the animals at the fair?
Well, like I said, I started 15 years ago, just come up here and had some kids ask me, and I come over to the auction, started buying, and I've been here every year since.
And I've heard that you kind of do some interesting things with the animals that you buy. You kind of reinvest it into the community. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, the champion hogs, I have a hog roast up here in September, invite everybody out. Usually have 800 to 1,000 people and feed them for free, and let the officers come out and introduce themselves to people, the county officers.
So is that open to anybody?
It's open to anybody.
So everyone who sees this or comes up here to the fair, they can come have a big pork sandwich.
They're welcome to come.
So tell us a little bit about why you think it's important that the community comes out to support the fair.
Well, this fair, like I said, it's all about the 4-H and the kids. I'm past president. Of course, Randy Lambert's president now. I just think that they need to come out here and attend the fair, come out and buy the kids' projects. Like I say, our future is the kids.
And the fair kind of has a long history in this county. Agriculture has a long history in this county.
Yes, over 100 years. So it's been a long thing, long time.
Is there anything else, any other advice that you would give to people who maybe have never attended the livestock auction or never attended the fair?
Yeah, I just wish we could get more people out. Like I say, there's a lot of animals up here to buy, and there's just a small group to buy them. So we need to get more people involved if we can.
Yeah, and if there's, maybe people who have never been involved in agriculture, they don't know what it takes to raise an animal. This would be an interesting experience for someone like that as well.
Yes, it would. It's hard on these kids. I mean, they take a long time to get these animals ready for this sale and a lot of work.
So people probably don't realize all the work that goes into it, day in and day out.
No, they sure don't.
I've seen them up here, 9 days here actually with their animals, and they're here, several times a day feeding, have them out working them.
Yes, they're out all the time, out all night long here working with them.
I'm here with Ryan Sells, and he is a buyer at the Lawrence County Livestock Auction. So tell us a little bit about, how you got into buying and what brings you out every year.
Well, the kids are the main factor there, and I mean, you got to you got to support your county. That, I own a feed store, and that's my future buyers. So you got to have that to do that. So.
And so owning a feed store, you probably see kind of some of these kids as they're working through their project.
Oh yeah, we see them year round. So a lot of work goes into these projects.
Yeah, you probably see a lot of do you get a lot of questions for kids aren't as experienced and they're trying to learn?
Oh yeah, you have from first years all the way to the most experienced. So
yeah. So you start seeing them at 9 years old, and I guess you kind of see them every year since you have a feed store.
Every year,
yeah.
Every year. So, and I can answer questions for them. We have reps that can do that. Help them all you can help them.
Yeah. So that's probably kind of a neat process that you see them as they start in 4-H and FFA, and then you see them as they continue through.
Sure, yeah, and then we see them as adults past this, so
And then you laugh with them about, remember when you were a little kid?
Absolutely.
And that goat was jerking you around at the fair.
Yeah. That's you have a lot of that, and it's good to watch them from start to finish.
Do you ever bring other buyers out with you, recruit other people?
Oh yeah, we do it every year. Like I said, it's all for the kids. So the more you can get here, the better off they are.
And the more people you get exposed to it, it seems to me like, people, once they get into it, they love it and come back over and over.
Oh yeah, every year.
Yeah, it's probably fun to see how much people are going to get for their animals and how they're going to place.
Oh yeah, that's, you watch the little ones, and I've seen this happen over the years, is, see the little ones be grand champion or reserve champion, and, how much, that creates for them. So it's great.
All right, so tell us a little bit about what you're out here doing today.
Today, our group, as a community service, we're actually serving the dinner for the buyers. We try to be in a good location so they don't have to lose their seat. They can be here and watch the whole sale. So we're providing food.
And you're one of the 4-H group.
Right, we're the Greasy Ridge Gang. And we're one of, I'm not sure how many there are, but there are a lot of us groups around. We have 42 members in our club. We have kids from every school system in the whole district. So yeah, we have 42 kids and we have a willing club, so this is our community service.
So you don't charge anything for your food you're serving here?
No, this is free. This is an incentive for the buyers to come. It's kind of a thank you.
Do you put anything special in those cookies to get them to spend more money?
Yeah, there's a little extra adrenaline in there. No, actually, it's just regular sugar, and the meat is provided by Nelson's Meat Processing, and they came out here at 3:30 this morning and started cooking. And so it's pulled pork. And that's what the sandwiches are. And some people come for those every year.
Yeah. So you keep them right here close so they don't have to get up and go far. They don't miss any of the...
Absolutely. And we try to make sure the food is something they can handle and still bid at the same time.
I'm here with Skye Barnett, and you are a 4-H FFA member?
I'm a 4-H member. I'm a junior teen leader on the junior fair board.
All right. So how long have you been involved in 4-H?
For as long as I can remember. My sister did it before me, and I was going to Cloverbud overnights and everything with her, and then once I was old enough, I was doing them on my own.
And so this year you have a steer at the fair?
I do. It's my last year. I wanted to go out with a bang, so I took a steer. He's just a farm steer, but I did really well with him, and I'm quite excited to see what he'll sell for.
So tell us a little bit about kind of what you've done over the years.
Over the years, I've been a camp counselor. I love working with kids. I've worked with kids anywhere from age 3 to 15 counseling. And then I've been on the junior fair board working fair shows. You'll see me announce a lot. Working the sales also. 4-H has really made me an outstanding person. I was fair queen last year, and my best friend received it this year. And you meet so many new friends and new people, and you build so many good relationships. My best friend, I met her through 4-H to begin with my first year, and we've been best friends ever since.
So tell us about the animals that you've raised over the years.
I've raised goats, lambs, rabbits, chickens, and a steer. So I've had just about everything.
So you've done which was the easiest and which was the most difficult?
The easiest was probably the rabbits, and the most difficult as far as work was the steer, but as far as raising was the chickens.
Yeah. So tell us, we're here with the steer, so tell us a little bit about them.
Steers are pretty well, they pretty well do their own. They're either going to be good or they're not. You'll get them as a calf, and you just got to fill them out along the way. They're a lot of work as far as getting them to calm down. You can't just bring one in here and expect it to behave. And there's a lot of poundage there. He's got quite a bit of weight on me, so I've got to have control of him all the way through. So it is a lot of work, and I commend the kids that take them because you dedicate your time to them for over a year because we have them. The people that have their steers next year will have already bought them this year now, so they've already got them and they're already working with them. So it's around the clock.
Yeah. So, you know, a typical day preparing for fair season, what's that like with a steer?
With a steer, usually you start with halter breaking. I usually put a halter on him, leave him in the pen for quite a while. That way he steps on that halter, gets used to pulling on his head and things like that. And then I'll put him on the tractor and pull him behind the tractor because I don't have enough weight on me to pull him around. So once he gets used to the tractor, then I'll usually start taking him out by myself and see how he does there. And then you bring the show stick in because you have to move his feet and get him used to feet. And then you put him in the head chute and get him used to bathing and things like that until you calm him down enough to where you can bathe him without a head chute.
What would you say to people who've never been involved in 4-H and who maybe would be interested in it?
There's something in 4-H for everyone. I know everyone sees all the animals and all that and they think that that's all 4-H is about, which is really not. There's camps, there's still projects. You can take rocket science, you can take shooting sports, archery. There's something for everyone no matter where you live. You don't have to raise a steer, you don't even have to raise a rabbit. You can do anything and everything that you'd like.
What's your plans for the future after, you know, 4-H?
After 4-H, I do plan to come back and help as much as I can. But right now I'm a senior at Marshall. This will be my last year. I'm a pre-med student, so I'm going to go on to med school and hopefully go into osteopathic medicine.
So how do you plan to use your money that you get in today's auction?
It'll definitely go to Marshall tuition.
Yeah, that college tuition's outrageous.
Oh yes, and it's only going to get worse.
I'm here with Rachel, and Rachel, you have raised goats this year.
Yeah,
How many goats did you bring to the fair?
4.
So what do you have to do to get these goats ready for the fair?
You have to walk them and feed them and water them,
What's the hardest part?
bracing them.
And what is that when you brace them?
It's whenever you pick them up and you set them on your leg.
Wow. So especially you're not very big, so the goats are like as big as you are.
Yeah,
Your goats weigh almost as much as you?
yeah.
How many years have you been coming to the fair?
4
4. And what animals have you brought?
goats.
Every year? So how many do you plan to keep bringing goats?
Yeah, until I win.
Until you win. Now I understand that you have a little competition here with your brother.
Yeah,
So is that the big deal? Is between the two of you all who places highest?
yeah. I usually beat him, but this year I didn't.
Well, then there's next year, right?
Yeah.
So what's your typical day like after you get your goat during fair season to prepare?
Gotta get all the feed ready, and then I gotta start walking them to get them ready, and then you have to start bracing them, and then you have to feed and water them every day, so it's kind of hard.
So you're out with them every day, even when school's in.
Yeah,
Do you ever get tired of it?
yeah. A lot.
So what are you going to do with your money?
I'm not allowed to spend most of it because Mom and Dad wants me to save it for college, but I'll buy something little.
Like,
Phone, maybe, I don't know.
Here are some of the results of the sale from the 2014 Lawrence County Fair. Photos provided compliments of the Ironton Tribune. Market Goat Grand Champion from Dylan Back, purchased by Stephen Dale Burcham, Mark McCown, attorney, Doug Malone, Tim Edwards, candidate for 2014 Lawrence County Commissioner, Lawrence County Farm Bureau, and Holidays Quick Stop. Market Goat Reserve Champion from Carson Ball, purchased by Freddy L. Hayes, Lawrence County Commissioner, Lambert Law Office, Les Boggs 2016, and Guy's Floor Covering. Market Hog Grand Champion, Hunter Humphreys, purchased by Capper Attorney at Law, Freddie L. Hayes, Lawrence County Commissioner. Ryan Smith, State Representative. Les Boggs, 2016. Guy's Floor Covering. Citizens Deposit Bank. Mended Reed Foster Care and Adoption. Mike Finley, and Worley's Machine and Fabricating. Market Hog Reserve Champion from Evan McMacken, purchased by Freddie L. Hayes, Lawrence County Commissioner. Les Boggs, 2016. Dr. Terry Johnson, State Representative. Guy's Floor Covering, and Mike Finley. Market Steer Grand Champion from Aston McMacken, purchased by Coalgrove Timco. Market Steer Reserve Champion from Teddy Lynn Craft, purchased by Freddie L. Hayes, Lawrence County Commissioner. Guy's Floor Covering, and Les Boggs, 2016. Market Chicken Grand Champion from Haley Haas, purchased by Guy's Floor Covering, Freddie L. Hayes, Lawrence County Commissioner, Lambert Law Office. Les Boggs, 2016, and Dr. Terry Johnson, State Representative. Market Chicken Reserve Champion by Wyatt Thacker, purchased by Stevens & Son Insurance, Jason Stevens, Southern States, and West Banco Bank. Market Tobacco Grand Champion by Forrest Humphrey, purchased by Guy's Floor Covering, Freddie L. Hayes Jr., Lawrence County Commissioner, Lambert Law Office, and Les Boggs, 2016. Market Tobacco Reserve Champion, Lane Wilson, purchased by Stevens & Son Insurance, Jason Stevens, West Banco Bank, Southern States Huntington Co-op, and Bill Pratt Twin Hill Farms. Market Rabbit Grand Champion by Isabel Carpenter, purchased by Cook's Farm Center Incorporated. Market Rabbit Reserve Champion, Tegan Carpenter, purchased by Guy's Floor Covering, Freddie L. Hayes Jr., Lawrence County Commissioner, Lambert Law Office, Les Boggs, 2016, and Worley's Machine and Fabricating.